Alright guys, it's your boy Shades and Trades here with another video. Let's talk about Aitx. And let's talk about dilution one more time. We're going to talk about dilution. We're going to talk about expansion and why dilution. I don't think dilution is going to go away, because someone did leave a comment saying dilution is going to stop and we're going to finally start going up. But I don't think dilution is going to stop. And we're going to go over that and the importance of dilution, because the company is still small, guys. It's still small apples. It's not a big, it's not Amazon. Aitx does not have thousands of warehouses to fulfill the enormous amount of demand for Amazon products. So Aitx is still small potatoes. We're going to go over that and why I believe eventually it will have to raise funds one way or another to expand. Imagine Aitx gets, okay, you know what? Before I go into it, let's just talk about the share price, get it out of the way. We are moving up. We're up 11.9%. And like I mentioned previously, I did add, you can see I've been keeping track at 007s, low 007s. I added again at 0057 and again at 0043. So I'm up on that position. Again, it's just a matter of being patient. This company communicates. This isn't eyeless making excuses, blaming everyone else but themselves because they don't communicate. That's on them. This is a company that's doing all the right things. The price is appreciating, and it's created a new floor here, a higher floor. Why? Because it's actually doing everything you're supposed to do as an OTC penny stock. You're proving yourself to everyone that you're a real company with real products, and you're out there and you're making things happen. Unlike, again, ILUS, which is just dropping fluff PRs consistently now. Anyways, I was looking to add my bigger position down here, but uh, well, I'm not going to chase, but I'm just going to hold the three positions that I added at this point. So that's the game plan. You know, that's why I was saying the game plan. Sometimes you got to make adaptations, and sometimes it's not going to work out. You're not going to get to add the big position at the bottom, right? It's not. It's not. Sometimes it's just not going to happen. But I'm in it already, anyways, with three positions, and I'm still gonna make money regardless, and I'll buy myself an e-bike or something. I don't know, one of those unicycles. One of those, yeah, those electric unicycles. I was looking at one of them. That's probably what I'm gonna buy next, if I'm being honest. Anyways, share price aside, I mean it's a Friday and we're up 11.9%. No selling pressure to be found. We'll see how it closes, but let's go back to what I was talking about with dilution. Okay, dilution. Let me pull up the comments because some people had some questions, and I'm like, I don't think dilution might stop short term, which is going to help the share price appreciate in value. I agree with that, short term at least. But if we think long term, the dilution is just, it's always going to happen. It's always. Oh, I got so many questions. Let me see. Shades, I'm buying Sun on a Monday. Where's that question? Okay, there it is. Should it be done diluting when being cash flow positive in a few months? Okay, so I read that question and I'm like, I don't. That does being cash flow positive does not mean dilution is going to be done. I think dilution is going to stick until Steve Reinhardt himself makes a video saying, "Guys, we're done diluting. That is it for dilution. We found a way to raise money without having to, you know, hurt the share price essentially, and in turn hurt the shareholders." Being cash flow positive, I believe Steve Reinhardt says that they want to be cash flow positive so that they can sustain the business on its own. So they're going to have to put money back into the business, right? To grow the business, to expand. If they get a 10,000 dog order, let's just say they get a 10, someone goes up to, whoever's in charge, a salesperson, and says, hey, we want to buy 10,000 of those rat dogs. Right now, if we're being honest, if we're being real, right now, Aitx does not have the capacity to produce, to fulfill that order. That's what it comes down to. They don't have that capacity right now. They're not Amazon. They don't have thousands of AI factories ready to produce robot dogs. They don't. And I'm calling it AI factories because I think that's what it is, right? I mean, we got Elon Musk creating AI factories so that he can crank out humanoid robots. So I'm just going to call them AI factories at this point, or warehouses, whatever you want to call it. Ultimately, they have locations. We know Aitx has locations where they produce. They have locations where they produce. Look at that. Brad will be taking possession of a 30,000 square foot light industrial building So they have locations where they produce these robots, these AI powered machines, but they don't have enough to fulfill that kind of order. Don't get me wrong, a 10,000 dog order, that would be ridiculous. That would be, I'm sure, that would send the share price skyrocketing for sure. But look at that, look at that. That's this. Imagine hundreds of these, thousands of these, because they have so much demand for their products that they kind of have no choice but to, hey, the company is growing. We're getting so much demand, and we need to be able to, we need more locations. We need multiple Rad Excellence Centers. We need thousands of these because we're just getting orders from all over the world, and that's the future, guys. Adoption takes time. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but the internet back in the Netscape AOL days, at least that's what I can remember. The internet wasn't even popular. YouTubers weren't even a thing. I think they weren't even a thing until like early 2010s when YouTubers actually started getting paid. That was not too long ago. That was like 14 years ago, guys. Like adoption takes forever. It takes a long time. But once everything catches up and the adoption rates skyrocket, we're gonna see Aitx. They're gonna need to expand, and they're gonna have to raise money. And how are they gonna do that? Most companies, especially in the OTC, they raise money by diluting, and that's not a bad thing. I know a lot of people, and it's a bad thing short term. It's gonna cause the share price to fall. But over the long term, if they're getting so many orders that they need more AI factories to produce robots, that's a good thing because it's like, wow, there's just so much demand that I'm not going to say they're going to be the next Amazon, but there's going to be so much demand for their product that the share price, yes, it'll fall short term, but overall, in the long term, we're going to create those higher floors like we've been seeing recently, and we're going to see a stock it's going to go absolute bananas because it is an AI stock. And right now, not that many people know about this stock. There's been people who have told me like, I've never heard of this. Thank you for letting me know. I'm going to keep an eye on it because some of them don't want to buy penny stocks. They want to wait till either it's on the higher exchange or they want to wait until it proves itself, right? So that's them. That's their strategy. But again, the dilution. I think until Steve Reinhardt himself says, "Hey, we're done with dilution. It's over. We don't need we make so much money that not only are we not gonna dilute, we're actually gonna buy back shares now. And we're gonna give out a dividend. Because they have a similar business model to Netflix. It's a monthly, yeah, they charge monthly, I believe, and they have like contracts, 12 year 12 month, 24-month contracts. So they have a similar business model. And so if the monthly revenue grows to millions, if not billions. Right? Let's not get too crazy. Maybe not billions, but you know, tens of millions and then hundreds of millions. They'll just have so much money they can give out dividends. They'll have so much money they can afford to not only fulfill the orders that they're getting because there's just so much demand, but they'll be able to afford to buy back shares, and the share price is just going to see huge appreciation because it's doing the opposite, right? It's no longer diluting; it's buying back shares. But until that happens, for the time being, I think expect dilution to continue until like it's going to be a while, is what I'm trying to say. If you're willing to hold for 10 years plus, I think we're going to see this stock. It's going to be a winner long term because they're doing all the right things. And as long as they continue that, we will, as I just showed you on the chart here, we will continue to create higher floors. If they had not diluted, if dilution hadn't happened, I don't know where the share price would have held. Maybe it would have held at high 006s, sevens. Who knows? Maybe it would not. Maybe it would not have come down this low. Either way, the floor down here, 002, then it created a new floor up here at 004. So it doubled its floor. That's one way to think about it. And if this continues, we're on an uptrend, and we're gonna, I don't know, maybe the next higher floor is gonna be one penny or 006. They're doing all the right things, and if they continue this pattern, we can only assume that in the future all gonna make a lot of money, whether you're a swing trader, day trader, or a long. Uh, and I'm saying this and I'm being so positive because you look at Eyeless and they do the opposite. They don't communicate with shareholders. They put out fluff PRs, rinse and repeat PRs, and the share price. You look at this. This has not. This has not bottomed out. It just keeps creating lower lows and lower highs. It just keeps going down. It's been doing so, and they admitted they're just going to continue to do what they're doing, which is grow the business and not communicate with shareholders. And well, you will see. You see that you see what happens when you continue to do that, not communicate with shareholders, and just grow the business. Well, it just continues to go down and create new lows. This has not bottomed out, even though this has the better share structure and technically the better financials. Technically, it should be worth much more than that of AITX, but I think AITX is about to. I think it's gonna. I think you look at that; it's almost about to be Ibis in terms of share price. So it's kind of funny to follow two different penny stocks and see two different sides of the coin, and that's why I'm saying like AITX. I think we got a winner here, long term. But a dilution to address that, yeah, I think it's going to continue to happen. If they get huge amount of orders, if the demand just skyrockets, they will have to expand. They will need more AI factories to produce those robots for all the yeah to meet the demand. That's really what it comes down to. So yeah, being cash flow positive in a few months, that's cool, but it's not. It's only going to be so that they can sustain themselves. It's not. That doesn't mean that dilution is going to end. Let's see, absolute garbage. You called it, bro, right on the money. Oh yeah, eyeless stock. I called it. I said it's probably gonna drop 20%, and it did. So, where's the other comment? I love the data on their price for their bots and subscription. Yeah, I would love that data too, but I'm sure for privacy reasons, I'm sure they don't want the competition knowing that, or let alone they don't want us to know what companies they're working with. So, unfortunately, I would do the math on it. Well, I would let AI do the math, and then I double check the AI's math. But because that we're living in 2024, guys, use AI. It's the next. It's gonna be it's in its infancy, and it's gonna be the next big thing. So start using it now. Eventually, like I said, adoption takes a long time, but eventually you'll see everyone using AI. It's just gonna take a while. But yeah, I would love that information because I would do the math and we could figure out like, if they get to this number of robots sold, and if this company orders all these robots and all these robots, and that company orders all these robots, then the math adds up to this much money. But unfortunately, we don't have access to those numbers. Let's see, haha, that's a good joke. Just do a 10,000 for one reverse split, and that'll go up to dollar. We speak about cents first, then dollars, not now. Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I agree with that. Like, cents is probably, let's talk cents first, because we couldn't even break one penny. We couldn't even break one penny recently with all the volume we were getting. So, dollars is just, I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't see it. It does not have that kind of share structure. And that's it for the video, guys. I really just wanted to talk about adoption and dilution is it's gonna keep happening. It's a bad thing short term, but long term, because of how they are communicating and how they're growing the business and the fact that they have goals and they not only meet those goals but surpass them. And they, what's that word? I keep forgetting the quote. They under deliver or undersell and over deliver. I forgot the quote. I keep forgetting the quote. I hate that I forgot. Anyways, you get the point. Adoption takes time. If you got 20 years ahead of you, you're going to be very happy when you see the share price continue to surge and appreciate the way it is. I mean, we're in penny stock land, and it's already starting to create the higher floor. Meanwhile, you got all these other penny stocks. One of them that I follow, it's in CE. It doesn't even go anywhere. The other one refuses to communicate with shareholders, which you would think you're a penny stock. You have a lot to prove, and you just refuse to communicate with shareholders. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna trust you. AITX, I think this is the diamond in the rough. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.